Today we have the refreshed and updated 2024 Range Rover Velar. This Velar now gets some updates on the outside, even on the inside, and we're going to take a full detailed look at everything, get it on the road for a test drive, and check everything out and see whether or not this is a great and under the radar luxury SUV. All right, y'all, let's take a look at the exterior details of this 2024 Velar with its updates. But first of all, with the trim levels, we're going to have the S Dynamic SE shown here and the Dynamic HSE at the top end. So right up front, you're going to get a revised front end for 2024. That includes new headlights. You've got this updated grille up here. What do you think of the front end? I really do like the front end of this Velar. I think it's sleek, it's sharp, and it's luxurious looking. But up here, we're going to get standard LED headlights, LED daytime running lights as well with the signature lighting, LED turn signal too, and you get LED fog lights as well. These are auto leveling headlights, but they are not adaptive side to side. The paint color on this one is called Veracene Blue. It's an optional paint with the optional black contrast roof as well. We even have the black package, the black exterior pack. So you've got black trim pretty much all over the place up front, the mirrors, the side. And this particular model is going to give us optional 21-inch wheels. They're dark gray with a diamond turned finish. One nice thing with these mirrors, not only do you get a turn signal in here, they're automatic dimming, they're power folding, and they're heated as well. Now dimensionally, this Velar is 189 inches long, so it fits between the Evoque and the bigger actual Range Rover. Ground clearance is about 8.5 inches, but it can get up to 10 inches with the optional air suspension. It's not quite the off-road unit that some of the Land Rovers are, but still fairly capable for what its market is. Then coming to the back, you also get brand new LED taillights here too. Similar design. Let me know what you think of that. Overall, a very sleek body style. All right, now climbing into the back here. First of all, we have a power liftgate, which is always good to see. No hands-free option as far as I can tell, even at this nearly $80,000 vehicle, but you've got about 32 cubic feet back here, 31 cubic feet. This is good space overall, considering, you know, luxury vehicles don't always focus on this kind of thing. A couple nice things here is you've also got a couple of little pop-down hooks there. So you can sling some fairly sturdy stuff on those hooks. So those hooks are fairly sturdy to sling some things. You've got a tonneau cover right there. You've got two more hooks over here. I love seeing hooks like that, whether it's for gear, you know, backpacks, grocery bags, whatever it is. 12-volt power outlet over there. You also have metal fixed tie downs in the floor. And this is a pretty big backpack, just for reference. You know, space is good, but not necessarily great back here. This is an optional little pop-up, just basically like a little pop-up storage area. Watch this. Undo that, boom. Look at that, it's like a little box. Now under this cargo floor, you got a little strap right here and you get a spare tire. Fantastic. You don't see spare tires as much as you should nowadays. Another thing you don't see much is a 40-20-40 split. So you got a middle fold down in the middle, which is awesome. To fold the second row, you do come here and then you can push this button to fold the headrest down. At least you can do that because sometimes you get stuck with it running into the seat. And then space with this is pretty darn good. You get over 60 total cubic feet. There is a bit of a drop off right there behind that load floor, but at least you get a pretty long distance right here and you can have that the split folding seats, which is real nice. Now take a look at these door handles. So these are deployable flush door handles. So I showed you this on another Land Rover before, but these door handles pop out, or you can press that button and they'll slide in. You got power folding mirrors. That smart function is on both the front or the back door. So push the button to unlock it and the door handle will actually move like that. And one nice thing is that you get Land Rover's puddle lamps on the ground, which are pretty cool. Now hopping inside, there's some good stuff with these seats. So this is a grained leather. It is the ebony color in here. We've got a nice material. You've got some perforations in here as well, some moderate bolstering. So everything looks really nice and it feels good. It's a pretty supple seat overall. I mean, it's this leather, it really does feel pretty good. Going down here, we've even got 4-way lumbar support in addition to the regular height and tilt and recline. The steering wheel is electronic, forward, backward, up and down as well. The switch is on the other side of the steering wheel, and this is also a heated steering wheel. But wait, there's more. This Land Rover also has the cold climate pack, so we have some goodies with that. Both of these front seats are heated and ventilated with a 3-tier option there. Your windscreen is also heated as well. Talk about fantastic if you live in cold climates. Plus, one complaint with LED headlights in cold weather is you can get ice on them, and the halogen headlights would heat up and melt that. The LEDs don't do that, but you've got headlamp washers in here with this cold climate package. And one more thing, those back seats, they're also heated. Now overall, these seats are definitely comfortable. I kind of explained that when I was touching the seats, but I've spent a good amount of time in here and I've been very, very comfortable. Okay, so if you want to get bougie with your seats, you can actually get more adjustments and a massage function in here on that HSE trim. So something to keep in mind, and even a more premium leather. Now let's take a look at the back seat here. So one thing that stands out to me is the nice trim that you get. Even on the back door back here, you've got a soft armrest, good little grab handle and cup holder. And one neat little feature is that you get this little emblem built in right there, or just kind of a badge on the frame, so which is pretty cool. Then the back seat space, we'll go ahead and take a look. Then sitting behind myself, I am 5'9", so this is where I like to sit and I'm comfortable. So sitting behind myself, decent knee space and pretty good foot space actually. You've got a nice firm backing behind the seat for your mat pocket. The passenger gets one as well. And then right here we get AC vents. Below that you even have heated seats for our cold climate pack. That's nice, 3-tier heated seat, 2 USB-C ports, and a 12-volt power outlet right there. There's a decent sized hump in the middle, so not ideal for middle passengers, but we have a center folding armrest in the middle with some padding and some cup holders that actually have these little rubber pieces right here to help with smaller drinks. Now headroom in here is pretty good. Like I said, I am 5'9", so not bad as far as that goes, because I can wear a hat and it's totally fine. So 6-footers will be able to be okay in here, I think. Not too bad at all. One thing is though, these seats don't move forward and backwards and they don't recline. But take a look at this. You get this panoramic roof, which is a standard feature. So you got some glass you can look out. Now let's take a quick look at the interior here. So push button start is right up there. Not my favorite location, but let's take a look. Over on the door, you're gonna get a soft material up above, nice trim down there, and then a pretty decent size bottle holder. Memory settings are right there on the door. And even though it is a decent sized cup holder, my large mug just doesn't work down there. Your interior brightness control is actually tucked away, and your trunk opener or your hatch opener, but keep that in mind, it's just kind of tucked away and out of sight, out of mind. Now, leather wrapped heated steering wheel, you've got some controls that have this glossy black on them. We've seen this in other Land Rover products. It's not quite as, complicated as some where you have different menus that show up on here, but this is your volume slider. You can control your center display with that. Seek, phone, heated steering wheel button, cruise control buttons, lane keeping system, all of that stuff. You also get little paddle shifters back here, and on that stock you get rain sensing windshield wipers. Land Rover also gives you a really nice display, so it does take a little bit to set this up and get it customized how you want it, but you can have one dial, you can have 2 dials, you can control what's on the left or what's on the right, different settings that you can adjust. You have these options to make it a giant display, like for example, if you want to have your driver assist stuff on here, if you got some radar cruise going on or something, you want to watch that, you can do that. Or the most common, it's probably going to be the 2-dial setup, more traditional looking. You can also adjust your head-up display, which we can see right up overhead. It's kind of small, but has a good amount of information. In the entire interior here, this is kind of a unique textured material. It doesn't feel cheap or anything. Neither does this material around the dash. If you feel this is all really soft and really nice looking. You do have glossy black up there, but you're not going to be touching it like you would with a lot of other glossy black, so it doesn't really bother me that much. And then down here you've got some trim as part of our particular model. You can pull that down, cover up this little storage area, cup holders down here, but let's dig into this screen. Now you will get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and this screen is almost like it's floating, like it's just sitting here on the dash. It's pretty interesting. It replaces the 2-screen setup. This is one of the new features here, and I like it. It's got a really nice software. The only thing I wish is that we had more physical controls, but check it out. Like our climate controls are integrated, the volume is integrated, so you just you have these sliders over here. So you can just tap on that and then you can adjust it that way. But the easiest way is if you push and then hold to slide down or up. Same goes with the temperature. You can touch it, so you can adjust it like that, or touch it to get to your heated and ventilated seat controls, or you can tap, slide down slide up or down to whatever temperature you want. So it is easy to operate. It just takes a little getting used to, and I sometimes still wish we had some physical controls, but it's a very nice system, very nice layout. Go to the actual screen or the actual software here, your settings. There's a lot of different things that you can customize. You have this little quick menu where you can do your brake hold or your auto stop start, change the screen, and then all kinds of different settings that you can dive into. And we also get the Meridian sound system, which always sounds pretty nice in Land Rover. Just below that, we have a wireless charging mat down in there. You also get a USB-C charging port and an extra little storage area right there. So you could use this as storage or as a wireless charger. Coming back, the shifter is unique. It just kind of sits here and it just moves and then moves back to its position. But let's go to reverse. Then you got this camera. We don't have the surround view camera on this particular model, but you have parking sensors in here and you've got dynamic lines with your backup camera. You also get your cup holders right here. Now they're good size, they accommodate a good amount of drinks, but if you have drinks in here, especially something with a pop-up lid like a takeout drink, if you open this, you might pop that lid off because it's very tight right here opening this up. But when we get here, we've got a split armrest, and this is actually really nice and soft and padded. It's got a great material to it, so you can lift one side up without kicking your spouse's arm off of there, or you can open it up and get a couple of USBs, including a USB-A and a USB-C. And it's a, decent size area, not great though. Land Rover gives us a lock-in glove box. It's always nice to see. Soft opening, softly lined in there as well. Overhead, you get an automatic dimming rearview mirror. No camera mirror like I've showed you on some other Land Rovers. You also have garage controls on there as well. Looking up overhead, so I showed you the sliding panoramic roof, and the lights are like a touch sensitive right here. So you can hit that, turn your lights on right in the middle. And this panoramic roof is actually standard on all different trims. So something to keep in mind. It looks nice, and this big portion right here will open up. So you got a pretty large amount of glass that actually moves. So this is huge. And at night, you get a little bit of cabin lighting in here with just a single color, but it does still look nice. All right, now under the hood, Land Rover gives us a couple of options for this Velar. Now, you get one really underwhelming option with 247 horsepower and a 2-liter 4-cylinder, but we have the upgraded 3-liter 6-cylinder. This powertrain is going to give us 394 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque, paired with an 8-speed automatic and all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 is real close to 5 seconds, so for a luxury SUV at this price, this is the kind of power I would expect. And it does get up and go. We'll talk about that in the test drive. Miles per gallon is 19 in the city and 25 on the highway. And of course, Land Rover makes this to be adventurous. You still have towing capability up to about 5,500 pounds here. All right, y'all, we are now behind the wheel of this Range Rover Velar. And I've driven a handful of different Range Rovers, and this one feels very similar to those. So if you're used to the Range Rover or the Land Rover family in general, you'll feel right at home in this. And I'll talk about what that means in just a minute. As we come to a stop, first impressions is that it's a comfortable vehicle despite the large wheels. It's a quiet vehicle, so it's like a luxury vehicle, but it's got good power too. So, typical luxury, but I mean, it definitely feels on the premium side with the driving dynamics. I wish we had some physical buttons here on the screen, but that's just the way it goes nowadays with everything. This is still easy to operate. You got good visibility out of here. You got a head-up display if you want, and I really don't have much to complain about with that. The auto stop start system is off right now. It just turned back on. It's kind of aggressive, and there's a pretty big shake or vibration with the vehicle when it turns on, but you can turn it off and on through the screen. Now we'll go through the different drive modes, talk about noise, comfort, handling, all of that. And one thing I gotta say, the way it feels like a Land Rover, like this kind of feels like the Defender when it accelerates with this 3-liter engine, because you get a ton of squat. Like when you get on it, this rear end drops down like crazy. After this vehicle turns, we will get on it. Little pedal, and it's like your nose just goes straight up in the air, but you get going in a hurry. This is very quick. It responds quickly. This 8-speed transmission has been pretty much spot on as well. I've got no complaints about that. and we're just in a comfort mode. So you've got your drive modes that you can just tap a button on here and then tap which mode you want. We're in comfort mode. Let's go to dynamic, which is basically sport mode. Then you have eco, and you've got off-road modes. Pedal down. It gets you going real quick. We got up to about 70 in a heartbeat, and you have a little bit of a sound that comes out of that engine when you first get going. It sounds pretty nice for being a 3-liter, and let me tell you, it's punchy. That with pedal down, there was definitely a delay, but with just a little bits of pedal here and there, it grabs and shifts real quick. And this is dynamic mode. Let me go back to comfort mode. The steering feels good. It feels precise, but the one thing about steering, the fact that we get some squat, like the rear end drops down when we accelerate, you definitely get some body lean too. I mean, this thing is a little bit leany, a lot more than I expected for a vehicle of this price point, and for something that feels as fast as it is. It still handles well, but you do get some movement in here more than I expected, just like the Defender. I mean, the Defender's bigger box here, but still, it feels like that. Little pedal in comfort mode, and dang, it just takes off. The power numbers on here are good, and this is not a huge vehicle, so this absolutely gets out of its own way. You have an underwhelming base engine, which I haven't driven, so I can't necessarily say it's underwhelming, but considering the difference in power from this to that, it's pretty significant. But I gotta say, overall, it's pretty comfortable, soaks up bumps well, but you do feel some bumps, and I'm guessing it's mostly because of these 21-inch wheels, which are optional. You don't have to get large wheels like this. It's a quiet vehicle. You don't have laminated glass here, but that can also be a safety plus. Easier to break the glass if you have to get out, but it's still a quiet vehicle. Let me get pedal down in dynamic mode one more time. Go. And then on the opposite of that, the brakes bite really well too. So just a well-rounded vehicle. Things are nice, things are quiet, there's not much to complain about. It drives exactly as you would expect for a luxury vehicle. So to wrap things up on this 2024 Velar, I like the updates here. Land Rover has consistently given us little updates. Even though this isn't a completely revamped vehicle, it still looks and feels like it with the new interior, the updated styling, and it's just a good all-around vehicle with a lot of features. It's comfortable, it drives well, it's got good power and options. There's a lot to like about it. And that honestly makes me think that this is kind of an under-the-radar luxury SUV. Yes, it does get expensive, but with it being so well-rounded, it's a nice option. Let me know what you think for this luxury SUV with this updated 2024 Velar. Leave your comments down below and have a great day.